I am so grateful to get to introduce to you this morning an incredible woman. She truly inspires me, and her growth over the last few years has been so tremendous and so incredible to watch. It really has. Her and her husband both. I know she was born to help others, and I know she was born to help heal others, and I know that she will stop at nothing when it comes to sharing health and this hope to everyone that she meets. Today, she's going to spill this love all onto all of us about abundance. So, Tina Tesh-Myers, take it away. I'm so excited to hear your lesson today.
Oh, thank you. So I'm going to put gallery view on because everyone can know that abundance. Now, that's a really easy thing to say. And I always thought abundance was hard work. You got to work hard. And that's what I was born to believe when I was little from my German parents. You know, how hard you work will reflect on what you have. And now doing self-development, it goes into another realm of believing in a realm that we don't see all the time, that we can contact in a way that, you know, defies gravity or defies electricity. It's something that's there, but how do we tap into it? And how do we bring it together that we have great wealth and health and happiness and success in the tangible and an intangible way? And so I was led by our phenomenal mentor, Michael Zapier, how to do self-development, because that is the piece that makes abundance so tangible. That really, if you don't have self-development, you'll be at one level and you will not grow. You won't. You will have a steady income, but you will not grow. And so when I was led into Jim Rohn, who I just adore, and I know my husband says, thank God he is dead, because I'd be really worried. And just recently, I was introduced to Jim Rohn's mentor, John Earl Shoaff, by a friend who gave me a video. And he goes, just watch this. I watched it and I went, oh my God, answers. Finally, I've got some amazing answers. And these answers were really eye-opening, just little twists and little changes to make my reality really come true. And it's something you do. Just try it out for 30 days. You listen to this man's presentation. It goes for about 35 minutes, twice a day, in the morning and the afternoon. You can do your daily routine by listening to it because it really does sink in. Usually by the night time, I'm usually knackered, as we say in Australia, and I'm asleep. So it goes into my subconscious. So I'm quite happy if it goes into that way. But I'm going to share with you what John Earl Shoaff has beautifully put together to make you understand that everything flows from you to you. And it's a beautiful thing. And I will share this link. And if you don't know how to get it from me, please just find my phone number. People have it and contact me. I will definitely share this link with everyone because I want everyone on this team to grow. I want everyone to feel great success, whether it's in their happiness, whether it's in abundance, whether it's the work or your team. Because whatever you think and do comes to you. And this made it really clear. And there's a couple of little things we can help on the way. Because, you know, we say, okay, I've set my goals and I've got 10 goals I'm going to do. And out of those 10, maybe 2 happen and you're really happy. And so that happens and then you're in a life of stagnation and nothing happens. So that's when you start going, oh, what's going on? Why am I not attracting this to me? What am I doing wrong, or what am I not doing? And so it's the universal law is not coming through you, definitely. And you've got to say, why? Why isn't this happening? And we're all aware of gravity. Gravity works whether you're good or bad. You can be a bad person or a saint and fall from a building onto concrete and die. I mean, gravity is going to win. And it happens to everyone. It's also electricity. It happens to everyone. You can turn it on. Electricity can be good and it can be bad. So it's that thing around you that you know it is there. But how do you tap in? How do you make the law of success, of the law of, or the lack of law, or the poverty, the law of hate, the law of prosperity, the law of love, the law of peace? They are all laws. They are all universal laws. And they're the ones that we have to tap into. So all things happen at these basic laws. And that's really important. Hold on, I'm going to get the sun in my eyes in a moment. That we have to understand these basic laws. So what you do is you start setting down these simple laws, because whatever you want, everything you want in your life will come to you. It's a scientific proven way that this does work, and it really does start happening. But you're the person that has to plant that first seed. So it's all about planting seeds, and it really is. You've got to plant your seeds, and you have to plant them and harvest them properly. And I think this is where I had been doing it wrong. And this is what I want to enlighten with you, because I love this 35-minute audio that I listen to every day, twice a day. And so we all have to take time to plant our seeds, because we all have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Where do we want to go? This is what's really important. Where can we decide what to do? And we are the only animals that I know of at this moment on this planet that have a conscious and a subconscious mind. And you have to get these two talking together in harmony. You can't do one thing and think another. You have to bring them together, and they've got to talk in harmony. So when you set down your goals, you can set your goals down for money, for cars, for home, everything. They're seeds. And let's just say you're a farmer and you're going to set out seeds, apple seeds, and you're going to plant the apple seeds, and they start growing. And the apple tree comes up red apples, and you go, I didn't want red apples, I wanted green. So now we get to define, what do you want in that seed? This is where you have to go down deep and really define it. It is, what is it in that seed that I need to change? And it's almost like you have to learn to define and visualize what you want. That's the step that I was also missing in some way. And let's face it, we live in a really negative world, and it is. It is what it is. You can talk to someone and say, how are you feeling? And they'll go, oh, I'm good. And you ask the same person the next day, how are you feeling? And they go, oh, I've got a headache and I've got this. Their negative state of mind, they can flourish with amazing features of misery, because it's so easy to do. It is something that you build, and you can start visualizing that. And it's almost that spiral going down into misery, because it's something that we all know so easily. And this is where you have to step out and go, enough is enough. So it's also, how do you start your day? Do you start it with a great meditation, or do you start it by reading the paper? And it doesn't matter in what year, whether it's in the 1910s or 14s before World War One to now. Let's just say it's not the source of most positivity. I mean, it really isn't. And we have to understand there's negative everywhere around. And that's something that we have to know. But we are creators. Nothing comes to us through us if we haven't created it in one form or another. We create it all. And that's one thing that I really, really want to make clear with people, that you create everything, whether it's good or bad, but everything in your life is what you have designed. Whether it's your dress, your home, your car, your neighbors, everything, even the team of people you are working with, you have created everything. And so we create everything, and it speaks loudly on who we are and what we have with us. So when you create something, be really careful. Be really, really careful of what you create. And you have to create in a way that it resonates with you and only you. You're not creating for your family. If they don't agree with your way of life, then create it for you and make this creation your creation, because you're the person who has to live with it and walk with it and be confident in that creation. So when we have a look at that visualizing, and you'll say to someone, okay, let's visualize you given your own private jet. You have to start writing it down. And people will go, well, I don't know. I've never been in a jet. I've never been in a 777 or 747. And so you can't create something you do not know. You have to create something that you know and that you can feel and that you know belongs to you. So let's go. A next simple step is let's create a car. And let's go to the car extent of, in America, it's the Cadillac. For me, it's the Mercedes. And it's not the car as itself. It is, we have to learn the idea of that car, that idea of that lifestyle that has a Mercedes, that has a BMW, or that has a Cadillac. It's that idea that reflects in you, in your home, in your belongings. And that's what we want to do. We really want to start creating that, what belongs to you. And then, it's, things that we come to and most come through us is usually what we start creating and what we start doing. So the next thing, when you create it, you have to define it down to the last detail. You have to, the income and the visual and the positive attitude to the things you want, you have to be in that realm, and you have to define it right down to the last, really down to the last detail. And whether that be, the Mercedes, to the massaging in the seats, to the heated steering wheel on a cold day here in Seattle, the full sun, you have to visualize, feel it, and feel it in such a way that you are not afraid to define what you want in your life. Because as soon as you become afraid, you're not going to draw it to you. And it's not the principle of designing it that's what you want. It's a principle of you designing what you want and just let it go. Just really go to everything you want and to set it down. Because when you start writing it, because you're working out in your mind, then put it on pen and paper. Really start writing this down. Get defined about it. Get really specific about it. Because this is how you define things for your world. This, you must define it in such a way that you start feeling it, and you start embodying it, and you start planting that seed. And at the end of it, you write, thank you. And the reason you write thank you is because this is the law of acceptance. You have accepted that this is a reality that will come to you. This is something that you know that will be in your life in such a phenomenal way. You just accept it. You just accept it down deep. Then you fold it and you put it away because you are releasing it into your subconscious. Now your subconscious is going to start working and moving this defined article of what you want to you. You leave it where it is and you don't touch it again. It's like a farmer planting seeds out in the field. He doesn't go and dig it up every day to see how fast it's growing. He leaves it to cultivate, to grow, and to explode. That is what you have to do. After you've written the thank you, fold it and put it somewhere where you know it's safe, where no one can see it, whether it's in the bottom of the drawer or in another part of the house that no one would look. But these are your seeds. And plant hundreds of them. Plant 10, 20 seeds that reflect and define who you are and who you want to be. So that thank you will start releasing it to the universe. Your subconscious will start bringing it to you. So now you have to have faith. And it's like children. They have trust, they have faith, they have exuberance, they have excitement. You have to be like a child and have that faith that is going to come to you. And it's like, and if you don't, you have that lack of faith, and that's when you say, when is it coming and how is it coming? You can't think of that way because now you've nullified it and it's not going to come because you've already destroyed the universal force bringing it to you. So don't ask when or how or why. Just accept that this is coming and let the universe do it for you. And the amazing thing is the universe can't talk to you. It can't, but it will show you things. Whether you've made a car in your mind of what you want, suddenly you're walking with a friend and that car drives by exactly what you have written down. It's the universe telling you, because it can't talk to you, that this is on its way. Whether it's a dress that you want or a piece of jewelry or a book or an antique, it doesn't matter. If you've planted that seed of what you really want and you have said thank you and the law of abundance and acceptance is coming to you, accept it. Accept that this is what's coming. And be really careful on what you are writing and how you are asking for this. So when you plant this and the car comes and you've seen it, or the dress, or the jewelry, just know it's coming. So that's why the more seeds you plant, the more positive you become. And you're going to start walking differently. You're going to start acting differently. That expectance of, the law of expectance starts rolling in because you're expecting it. You're letting it come to you in a way that's very different. And so let it happen. Let it come towards you. And when you're doing it, you have that law or that expectance of positivity. And you become that. And anyone that's really positive or is on that way attracts so much more. And you'll see it. You will really see that person change. And it's, how many seeds you plant is how many things you're expecting to come towards you. But also really define what you want. Because there are so many people that you ask them, what do you really want? And they'll go, oh, I want a house, a car, and I want this and that. And then they get a house, and the house is 2 bedrooms and that should have been 3 bedrooms. So it is your responsibility to define exactly what you want, whether you know the plan of the house, whether you know how the house is going to look. You have to define it. And don't accept anything second less. Really define it, because the people who define and do this right get everything, and then we just get what's left over. And I don't think I really want that. I want exactly what I want. I really do. And I think everyone here should also have that expectations. It's your life and it's the way you are going to create it, which is everything that has to be will be coming from you. And it's, you know, if you want more of the intangible, it's almost like, do you want more love? Then you have to give more love. Do you want more money? Then you have to give more money. It's that giving, receiving. It's an incredible part of growing and having that greatness and that willingness of expanding and that generosity, because you really have to know what you want in your life, and defining it with medium results will only get you medium things. So it's really just really see what you want and define what you want. This is for me such an important step, and it may take you 3-4 weeks or continuously. You may define something you really want, put it away, and maybe 3 weeks later you go, oh no, I want more. Then redefine it, redo it, rewrite it down. And Earl Shove gave a couple of beautiful examples in his presentation, which I love to share with everyone. And he said there was a man, he said, you know, I want to go on a sea voyage. So he wrote down everything he wanted. He wanted to be on the bow of the boat. He wanted to feel the wind and the sea and the air. And he wanted to feel it to such a way. And he did. He wrote it all down. He wrote, I'm on a sea voyage. I'm feeling everything and the goodness and the happiness I am. 6 months later, he was on the bow of a boat going up and down, feeling the ocean. But he was in the military service, in the Navy. He didn't define it that he wanted to own the boat and be on a luxury cruise. So it came to him, because the subconscious is not going to treat you nicely. It's going to give you what you've asked. And it's also his niece. And this is the one that really hit me. She's young and all she wanted to do was have money, piles of money everywhere, piles and piles of money. And you know, months later, she was counting out money and she was doing the money. And suddenly she was working at a bank. It wasn't her money, it was the bank's money. But what she had already written and said was everything came true, but she didn't define it, what she wanted and how she wanted it. So it's that step that we all have to know is how to define it. And I'm sorry, I'm going a bit over, but I'll just finish as soon as I can. So it's also with, you know, when you feel it deeply and you feel it, then you write it and then you plant it. It's almost that you're feeling it, you're visualizing, you're doing it, you're playing it, and it's coming in. And when you say thank you at the end of your seed planting, that law of acceptance starts coming to you, and don't doubt it. Put it away. If you have to redefine it, do that. If you have to go up in your redefinition of what you want, do that. Because success, how much do you want? What is success in your life? Then write it down. That's one of those intangible ways of being in life, is how can you write this down? How can you feel it? Success for one person is different to someone else. And I want you really to pinpoint every dream that you have. Write it down, because these are your seeds, and complete it in your mind. Feel it, see it, and say thank you, and just release it. And trust. Be like little kids. Trust and have faith in it. Because we are little kids. We're just a little bit older than the other little kids. You know, truly, we have in each of us childlike characters that we should honor. And let's do this. You know, it's almost like, expect wonderful things to happen. Be the creator of your wonderful ideas and things. And what Earl Shove said, let's not be moons that reflect ideas. Let's be suns that create a light and let's the creator of ideas. You want to be that light. You want to show people that how living in that positive way, how that can roll into your life. Because, you know, there's sometimes you find people, whatever they touch, it touches into gold. And that person already has sometimes a really different way of looking at life. And it really is. It is such an easy thing to do. And if you can't envision yourself with a Cadillac or a Mercedes, but you can with, you know, a VW, I don't know how the car, then do that. Then do it in steps. But know that each step brings you higher to what you really want. And really define it for you. And you want to feel like you want to be walking on air. Everything you are doing is all the seeds you are planting, and know that they're going to come to you. Know really that you can do this. And so what Earl says at the beginning of this tape, he said, look, let's do this for 30 days. Just have blind trust. Just have blind faith. And do this for 30 days and just see how your life changes. Because it is such a powerful little video for 35 minutes that I can feel things changing. And I'm not doubting it. I'm going to let it happen. And I want it to happen for everyone here. I really want everyone here to feel this incredible abundance that is there for us to have. It's just that we have to plant the seed, define it, release it, and say thank you. And that is it. Thank you very much.